Welcome back. Today, we are putting together a really practical toolkit. Now, this is not about replacing your medical care, not at all. It's about adding powerful, supportive strategies you can actually use to manage the symptoms of endometriosis and adenomyosis. We're going to move way past that old idea of just having bad periods and step into a space where you can actively and knowledgeably support your own body.
And let's just start right here with this quote. I have a feeling so many of you are nodding your heads right now. This is not just about one tough week a month, is it? It's about the full lived experience, how these conditions can really touch every single part of your daily life. Seeing it all laid out like this is so validating, and it's the perfect jumping off point for what we're talking about today.
Okay, so first, let's get on the same page with a clear definition. Endometriosis is a chronic, whole body disease. I'm going to say that again, whole body. And the other keyword here is inflammation. This isn't just some localized pelvic problem, it's a systemic condition. You have tissue that's similar to the uterine lining growing where it shouldn't be, and that kicks off this whole cycle of inflammation, pain, and even scarring. Really understanding that is honestly the first step to managing it effectively.
So, when we're building our toolkit, where do we even begin? Well, you start with the foundation, right? And that's food. We're going to look at how we can use nutrition as a real strategy to help calm down the body's overall state of inflammation, which we now know is a huge driver of symptoms.
And let's be super clear about this. This is not about some stressful, rigid, restrictive diet. The goal here is to build a sustainable pattern of eating that truly supports your body. It's so much more about what you can add in to nourish yourself, not what you have to take out. Think nourishment, not punishment.
So what does that actually look like day to day? This lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got the foods we want to emphasize, whole, colorful plant foods, lots of healthy fats, quality proteins. And then on the other side, the things we want to maybe reduce a bit, like ultra-processed foods, tons of added sugar, and those trans fats that can actually fuel inflammation. It's about shifting the pattern, not about being perfect.
And we can even get more specific and look at some of the all-stars here. So take fatty fish, like salmon or sardines. They're loaded with omega-3s, which your body literally uses as building blocks to create anti-inflammatory compounds. It's amazing. Or berries. They're packed with antioxidants that help fight cellular stress. And of course, leafy greens like spinach and kale, which just give your body so much nutrient density for energy. These are such simple, powerful things you can add to your plate.
Okay, so building on that food foundation, the next tool in our kit is supplements. Now, this can be a really confusing world, so we're going to approach this with a rules-first mindset, because here, safety and having a smart strategy are absolutely everything.
Before we even mention a single product, we have got to talk about these safety rules. First up, natural does not automatically mean safe. These things can have really powerful effects. Rule 2 is huge. Always check for interactions with your doctor or your pharmacist. Rule 3, please don't just stack a bunch of new supplements at once. If you do, you'll have no idea what's actually helping. And finally, the absolute safest way to do this is to use lab tests to fix a diagnosed deficiency, like low iron.
Okay, with those rules fresh in our minds, let's look at a few common ones. You see omega-3s and magnesium glycinate, which are great for supporting inflammation and muscle relaxation. But notice the evidence is rated B or C. That means it's pretty preliminary, not rock solid, which is exactly why we always say food first. But then, look at iron. The evidence here gets an A, the strongest rating, but only if your lab tests show you're actually low from heavy bleeding. This just highlights the whole point, right? It's about targeted support for your body's needs, not just random guessing. The next tool we're pulling out of the kit is aromatherapy. This one gets misunderstood a lot, so let's be really precise about what its role is. We're looking at this as a tool for managing your experience of the symptoms.
And this right here is the absolute crucial point. Aromatherapy is not treating the actual endometriosis lesions. What it can do, and what it can be amazing for, is helping to manage how you perceive pain, calming your nervous system when you're in a flare, or easing some of those other awful symptoms like nausea. It's all about comfort, coping, and support.
And you guessed it. Just like with supplements, safety comes first. This is a non-negotiable checklist, okay? Always dilute essential oils before you put them on your skin. Never, ever ingest them. Do a little patch test on your skin first, and be extra careful if you're pregnant, have asthma, or allergies. Responsible use is just so key.
So which oils might actually be helpful?
Well, the evidence for general menstrual pain points to a few good ones. Lavender is really well studied for its calming effects on cramps and stress. Peppermint can be fantastic for that nausea or head tension that comes along, and clary sage is often used in blends for cramps and muscle tension. These are just practical little helpers for getting through a really tough day.
All right, for our final tool, we are going to tackle a topic that I know a lot of people have questions about: cannabis. We're going to clarify its role as a supportive tool for modulating, or kind of turning down the volume on, pain and other symptoms.
So let's just cut right to the chase. This is the big question everyone asks. When we're talking about pain, which compound is doing the heavy lifting here? Is it THC or is it CBD?
Okay, let's break this down because it's so important. The evidence we have right now suggests that for direct pain relief, THC-dominant products tend to be more effective. That's the compound that can make you feel intoxicated or high. Now, CBD is a much gentler option. It has little to no intoxication, but it's also less proven for relieving pain all by itself. So you see the trade-off, right? THC seems to offer more potent pain relief, but it comes with that significant side effect of intoxication. CBD is gentler, but the direct pain-fighting power is weaker. Understanding that choice is everything.
And that brings us to the really important cautions. Cannabis, especially with THC, can cause drowsiness and impair your attention, so driving is a definite no. Smoking it adds lung risks, which is why medical professionals often prefer oral forms. And you have to use it with extreme caution if you're trying to conceive or are pregnant. And again, let's remember, this is about managing symptoms. It is not a cure.
So as we wrap this all up, please remember this: your toolkit is deeply personal. Everything we've talked about today, from nutrition to supplements to symptom management tools, they're all just options. They are things for you to explore in partnership with your healthcare team to figure out what combination truly supports you and your body best.
We have covered so much ground today, from the food on your plate all the way to specific tools for getting through a flare-up. So I have a question for you. As you look at this whole toolkit, what's one strategy that really sparked your interest? What's the one thing you feel a little more empowered to go learn more about, starting today?